Hello, it is Sarah Waggle, astrologer and leadership coach here for Wellness Astrology. This time for the moon in Libra. This is the last moon in Aquarius season. Holy shit. This is February 15th through the 17th. This is not my birthday, but you can wish me happy birthday. It's the 18th. I actually get a solar return with the moon in Scorpio. So might be a little vicious. Okay, this is the moon in Libra, however, so we are focused on air signs. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the chart and then I'm going to give you a little something extra because I'm trying new stuff because it's Pluto and Aquarius. So even me is being encouraged to try new stuff, but you'll see why as soon as I show you. Okay, but so Libra is balance, it's justice, it rules the kidneys, and so balance, right? Because you have two of them. And so things that balance your system. This could be like an electrolyte balance. This could be balancing balancing who you're around. We've been talking a lot about letting things go and things ending because things are out of balance. And so we've got to regain the balance in our lives. And so as this, well, let me pull up the chart so I can talk about the actual planet things. Hang on. Okay, so I have the moon at 11 degrees of Libra because that's when it will make a trine to Jupiter in Gemini, who's been at 11 degrees of Gemini since he stationed retrograde at the beginning of February. What else are we dealing with? So we're just coming off of Valentine's Day, but we also have Venus in her pre-retrograde shadow still. We've got Mercury well into Pisces. So Mercury being the ruler of Gemini, and this Jupiter in Gemini. So now Mercury is in a not so favorable position again. So but with the moon in an air sign and Gemini being an air sign, like, and Pluto and the sun still in an air sign, like, I don't know. I feel like this could be a lot of information. Libra is also about justice. And so we could be getting some information about justice being served. For example, we are on the verge of eclipses. And so some justice type things could be coming out. Some balance or rebalancing, restructuring could be coming out. We, of course, still have Mars retrograde 17 Cancer squaring Chiron in Aries. So we've got that energy still in play. We have what else? The nodes doing the node things. Now remember that with this moon in Libra, we had the nodes in a south node in Libra not too long ago. And we're not done with that axis because we do have a solar eclipse in Aries coming up at the end of March, or maybe it's early April. I can't remember off the top of my head. I'm sorry. But just something to point out. So as this moon enters Libra, it will trine Pluto, then it's going to trine Jupiter, as I have here, and then eventually it will trine the sun before it leaves Libra and just before the sun enters Pisces in a couple of days here. So it could be one of the calmer moons, but not, because Libra can be a little bit indecisive and people pleasing. And this coming off of, like I feel like it could be a bit of a moment of like manipulation or something like to that effect coming off of Valentine's Day. So what I want to talk about, I'm going to let y'all stare at the chart for those of you who love that kind of content. I wanted to mention about the Sabian symbols. And because I don't talk about them very often, mostly because there's no way of memorizing what they are. Like, there's how many degrees in the zodiac? There's that many Sabian symbols. But they're basically a symbol that represents each degree of the zodiac. So any degree that you have in your natal chart, or any degree that you're like, what is this about? Like, we could do one for 17 degrees Cancer where Mars is stationed. We could do one for 19 degrees of Aries where Chiron has been since he's stationed direct. We talked about, or maybe I didn't talk about it here, but I know many astrologers were talking about the Sabian symbol for 29 degrees Capricorn when Pluto was moving in and out of Capricorn. And that the 29-degree Capricorn is like secret meetings and stuff like that. But there's symbols associated with each degree. So we're going to talk about it with this 11 degrees Gemini, which is in the, one second. So if we look down here, Gemini, you can see it's divided into thirds because there's 3 decans for each sign. So the first decan is Gemini, the second decan is Venus or Libra, and the third decan is Aquarius, Uranus. So 11 degrees is within the Venus or Libra decan of Gemini. So I already looked it up. I'm not going to share my laptop screen just because it's really weird with my voiceover, and I don't want to have to put you guys through that. But I am going to read it and then tell it to you guys. So hang on. Okay, so 11 degrees Gemini is newly opened lands offer the pioneer the power of joy of new beginnings. So I'm going to read it again. Newly opened lands offer the pioneer new opportunities, the power of joy of new beginnings. So okay, hold on. Okay. I couldn't maintain the share and get my thing back to working, so I had to disrupt the share. But okay, so I've been talking a lot about like things ending and things beginning, right? And Jupiter has been sitting at 11 degrees since it's stationed direct earlier this month. And it's going to be there for a hot minute longer. And so what I wanted to share about this 11 degrees of Gemini is it's the Sabian symbol of like new beginnings for a pioneer. Well, pioneers were what? The people who traveled west, right, to explore the new land and have new opportunities, right? And so if we feel into this Jupiter energy right now and like go explore new opportunities, be the pioneer, right? I recently had a situation where I am the first one. I'm often this person, by the way. I'm often the first one to have the experience as a blind person to do something. And this is again the case in this situation. So I joined a gym. The gym that I joined is 2 stories. And the part of the gym that I joined, like the first story is like all the classes, and the second floor is like where all the weights and the cardio equipment are. So it's like open gym, right? Well, so I joined the open gym and it's stairs, right? Which stairs is no big deal. But the way it's set up for me to scan my particular card for my particular participation, the card swipe thing is in the back, meaning that like I have to enter the front, go upstairs, through the building, down the back stairs to scan my card, right? And I'm talking to the guy, and he's like, well, you're the first person who's joined the open gym with this card. And I was like, well, leave it to me to be the icebreaker, right? Here's the problem. The stairs are not the problem. Me climbing stairs is not a problem. I live on the 2nd floor of my building. I've lived on the 6th floor of buildings, okay? But the back stairs that I have to go up and down to swipe my card, they're the steepest stairs which he's just like, I don't know if I want you having to navigate them. And I'm like, well, I can do it. I just have to think about it and take my time. But the thing is that because I'm breaking the ice, because I'm being the first person that's joined his gym who joined it with the open gym as opposed to the classes, now he's like, I need to address the fact that our gym is not ADA accessible, and it's not, and there's no way to make it ADA accessible because it's an old building. It can't be, they can't do anything about it. Now you could jump on your moral high horse and be like, well, they should put an elevator in. Okay, listen, we're talking about buildings in a small town, downtown. They've been there forever. Most of them have like, old structure. At some point you can't update that. Okay. So I respect it. I respect old, I'm also like a architectural history, like buff. So anywho, the thing is that like something needs to shift. And so my point in saying all of this is like, we each have the opportunity to be the first person to do, the pioneer to do, the pioneers who explored the land, right? Because when you become the pioneer to explore the thing, maybe like you don't align with mediumship, psychic, you don't align with Reiki, you don't align with astrology, you don't, and perhaps you haven't found your flavor of these things, right? You haven't found your flavor of mediumship, you haven't found your flavor of Reiki, you haven't found your flavor of astrology, because there are different types of these things, not necessarily with Reiki, but with astrology, there's Western tropical, which is what I practice and teach. There's Vedic astrology. There's a million different types of house calculations, and nobody can agree on which one. There's Holstein, there's Placidus, there's Koch, there's all kinds of them, right? So do you see what I'm saying? But like maybe your flavor is completely different, and you're afraid to explore and be the pioneer. But what the universe is asking us with Jupiter at 11 degrees Gemini is to be the new person, be the first person to be the pioneer, to explore the new thing. Because if you're a Scorpio or an Aquarius, you got a lot of dark shit in your chart. Doesn't make you a bad person. It means that your flavor of expertise has not been pioneered yet. Be the pioneer. Okay. Is that supportive? Okay. And if you don't know your astrology chart, get a reading with me or another astrologer that you trust or that you feel like you align with, that could open you up to whatever it is. There are some of you out there who watch my videos, and some of you who are subscribed to my channel who don't watch my videos, probably because you're afraid of what I'm going to say, which is fine. I can be scary because I got like the Scorpio stinger going on. But there's some of you out there that are afraid to tune into your spirituality because you're so tied to that fucking Christianity bullshit that you're like, you don't even realize how prophetic and philosophical and important that you are to people who've been through something similar to you. But you're so afraid, you're so stuck in the story of this is what happened to me because I was raised in a Christian household. And there's a bunch of them out there. I've heard multiple stories from people who are raised in Christian fundamentalist fundy households that talk about their trauma. Look at the Duggars. My God. Or any other quiverful type family, right? So there's plenty of them out there. And I know that they're prophetic. I know that they have gifts, they have these things, but they get tied into that, you know? And we could go down the rabbit hole of, if you pray and don't do anything. I mean, you got to take inspired action. God responds when you take action. If you pray and don't take action, you sit around waiting for God to figure it out for you. So, but my point is, be the pioneer, be the one to break the ice, be the one to start a new trend, be the one to disrupt the process, be the one to, but don't do it in such a jerk off way that you're the whiny entitled bitch about it or brat about it, but do it in a way that's like, look at me. I'm, like, I'm just like, oh, well, somebody had to do it. I guess it'll be me. Somebody had to join the open gym, right? Somebody had to be the first one to do it. I don't necessarily need the classes or want the classes. I just want to be able to go to the gym and work out and lift weights and, work out on the treadmill and whatever so I can get my fitness back up. Should I take the classes? Probably, but I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna. Actually don't always like fitness classes because they usually say, look at me in the mirror. And I'm like, okay, I'm just going to sit here and move my arms and my legs because I have no clue what you're doing. So, but I have a fitness background, so I don't really like fret over that. But my point is that if you're like wanting to try yoga, find a yoga teacher who can support you how you need to be supported with whatever your limitation, whether it's visual or range of motion. Look for a yoga teacher who does modified yoga. Same with astrology. Maybe Western tropical ain't your flavor. You align more with Vedic. I've tapped into it a bit. It's kind of interesting. It's also confusing, but that's okay. Maybe you have a belief system, but you're so afraid to share it. But I'm inviting you with this, Moon in Libra. We kind of got a bit of chill energy here. Not really, but you know what I mean. It's a little bit better than it's been, but it's an invitation to go try something new. And yes, I have been tuning into myself and like, what do I want to do that's completely radically different than anything I've done? I have some ideas that I've been exploring and looking into. So, all right, let's see what's up with the tarot. Um, what is this? The Emperor in reverse. Riker. The Emperor in reverse. Man, okay. The mental fatigue is getting to people. People are losing their mental strength. They're losing their like this to me is like because it's a masculine in reverse. So like the masculine can't execute the project because like there's too much like emotionally driven um and this might sound a little bit cruel, but I don't mean it to sound cruel. But sometimes like a man is like, or a man like the masculine energy kind of has to shut down the emotions because the emotions are overruling a situation that needs to be taken care of. Right? Like this is like emotional intelligence. Like right now, I feel like there's too many stirred up emotions and things can't get executed. You're too emotional about something so you can't execute because you're feeling all of the feels, and sometimes you got to like you know feel your emotions but then get back to the fucking project. But I feel like with that Emperor in reverse, like the masculine, whether it is a male or masculine energy within yourself to execute a project, like you're too over emotional about it. Yeah, Queen of Starships in reverse as well. Yeah, there's a lot of emotional um fatigue, a lot of emotional manipulation. If you are the least bit paying attention to mainstream media, please stop it. Please stop. But I think this is, we have a new administration that's kind of flipping the world upside down, and it's causing a lot of mental and emotional instability. People are getting anxious and nervous about things that are happening and transpiring. Our financial structure is definitely changing. Our planet is definitely going through stuff with all of the weather activity, fires, earthquakes, tsunamis, all of the things. This stuff is going to continue, guys, so there's no way out of it. You just got to go through it, and this is the beginning of it. We're in this type of energy for like the better part of the next couple of years. Now this level of it won't persist, but the changes that will kind of be the result of it, or the reverberation of all of it, will persist until like 2030 ish. So once we get the planets moving into Aries, and then Uranus in Gemini, there's a lot going to be shaken, quaken, and all of the things. Remember that we are moving from the energies of earth and water, like Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, and then the water signs, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. We're moving from those types of signs, which are slower and feminine energies, into fire and air signs, Aries, Gemini, Leo, Libra. I'm trying to go in order of the zodiac: Sagittarius, Aquarius. And that's a different kind of energy. And we're moving into this kind of energy after 4 or so years. I'm speaking particularly since 2020, but maybe even before that, but like after 4 or so years of like a lot of mental fatiguing and emotionally exhausting energy. And so this is also a big time of grief and a lot of loss because we're losing people, right? Unfortunately, Pluto in Aquarius is the opposite of Pluto in Leo. Pluto in Leo was the baby boom. Pluto in Aquarius, so it was population incline. Pluto in Aquarius is population decline. The birth rate is low and people are going to, be leaving the planet more. So there's a lot happening here. This is why I keep preaching about regulating your nervous system, about keeping your body calm, about turning off your devices, disconnecting, getting outside, getting responsible about your body and how your body needs. This Libra moon is all about balance, and you've got to take responsibility for finding balance for your energies, for your nervous system. Okay. And that may mean you take a huge, complete turn in your trajectory. Like, okay, I don't even want to live in the city anymore. I'm going to go, live in the mountains or work on a farm or, live in a tiny house commune or whatever that looks like for you. Or I'm going to spend more time sitting on my deck, drinking my coffee, drinking my tea. Or you're going to spend more time in the pool. To just let your body chill. Your body will have buoyance in the water. So you've got to be responsible about your system. All right, last day of the Dark Magic, MAGICK cards. Of course, during Pisces season, we will have the Angel Tarot for the season because I like it. Tribe. Find your people. This is because we're going to have that sun at 29 degrees Aquarius, which is, 29 degrees is the final degree of any sign. And Aquarius is community, it's humanity, it's the people coming together. And so you've really got to make an effort to find, and Libra is pairings, right? Partnerships. And so you've really got to find the people who are gonna, you've got to let go of the people who don't mean shit, who aren't your, go listen to the song. You find out who your friends are. I think it's originally by Tracy Lawrence, but I kind of like the version that's Tracy Lawrence, Kenny Chesney, and Tim McGraw. It sounds cool and I like all the different voices. But go listen to that song and pay attention to the lyrics. Or just go read the goddamn lyrics. I don't care. But the point is that you want the people who, if you call them at 2 a.m. because you busted your tire, or you couldn't get an Uber, or you need to go to the emergency room or urgent care, like those are the people you want in your corner. Those are obviously like extreme examples, but you know what I'm saying? Like, like you want those people. Go find your tribe. You can also go to, I wonder if I can remember to link it in the comments when this video posts. But my friend Abigail Gazda has a meditation for finding your tribe or attracting your tribe. So think that through. But find your people that will help you and that will show up in the middle of the night when you absolutely need them the most. So that's important. Okay, that's what I got. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. Let me know what you think about that Sabian symbol. Maybe I'll do more of those if you guys dig them. And all of that. So I'll talk to you for Pisces season. Oh my gosh, we're here already. Holy shit. This year's kind of flying by. All right. Have a great one. Bye.